Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Channel for Beginners, where learning English is easy and fun. I'm Julia.
Hello, Julia, and hello to all our wonderful listeners. I am so happy to be here today.
I am happy you are here too, James. You look very excited today.
I am excited, Julia. I have my backpack, and I feel ready for an adventure.
A backpack? Are you going somewhere after this episode?
Maybe only to the kitchen for tea, but in my mind, I am traveling.
That is perfect, because today we talk about a travel story.
Oh, I love travel stories. They are fun, and they help us learn many useful English words.
Exactly. Travel is a great topic for English learners. We can practice words for tickets, bags, hotels, food, directions, and new places.
And also mistakes, right? Travel always has some funny mistakes.
That is very true. Today, I will tell you a simple travel story from a short trip I took to a small town by the lake.
A lake? That sounds peaceful.
It was peaceful, but not at the beginning. And near the end, I will share a small travel secret.
A travel secret? Is it about packing? Because I always pack too much.
It is not about packing. It is about how to make any trip better and also practice English.
Now I am very curious.
Good. Let's start at the beginning of the story.
Did you go alone or with a friend?
I went with my friend Anna. We wanted a quiet weekend outside the city.
That sounds nice. Sometimes the city feels too loud.
Yes, we wanted fresh air, slow mornings, and a little walk near the water.
So you planned everything carefully?
We tried to. We bought bus tickets and packed light bags.
Packed light means you did not take many things, right?
Exactly. To pack light means to take only the things you really need.
I need that lesson. When I travel for 2 days, I pack clothes for 2 months.
Many people do that. But for this trip, I took one small bag.
Good job, Julia. So what went wrong?
The first problem happened at the bus station.
Oh no, did you miss the bus?
Almost. We arrived early, but we waited at the wrong gate.
The wrong gate? What does gate mean?
A gate is the place where you wait before you get on a bus or a plane.
Ah, like door number 5 or bus area number 2?
Yes, exactly. Our ticket said gate 6, but we stood at gate 9.
Why?
Because I read the ticket too fast.
Oh, that is a very normal mistake.
It is. Anna looked at the ticket again and said, "Julia, this is not our gate."
And then you ran?
Yes, we ran with our bags. My scarf was flying behind me like a flag.
A travel flag. Did people look at you?
Yes, one man smiled and said, "Good luck."
That is kind. Did you catch the bus?
Yes, we got on the bus just 1 minute before it left.
Wow, that is a small victory.
It was. And here is a useful phrase for travel. Is this the bus to Lakeview?
Is this the bus to Lakeview?
Very good. You can use that question when you are not sure.
What if I am at a train station?
Then you can say, "Is this the train to Lakeview?"
That is useful, simple and clear.
Exactly. Simple questions can save your trip.
So you sat on the bus. Was the ride nice?
Yes, after my heart stopped jumping.
Your heart was running too.
The bus left the city, and soon we saw green fields and small houses.
I love looking out the window when I travel.
Me too. It feels like watching a movie, but the movie is real life. After 2 hours, we arrived in Lakeview. It was a small town with one main street.
One main street? That sounds easy. You cannot get lost.
James, you can get lost anywhere if you are me.
Oh no, did you get lost?
A little bit. Our hotel was near the lake, but we walked the wrong way first.
How did you know it was the wrong way?
We saw a sign that said Farm Road. There were cows, trees, and no hotel.
Maybe the cows had the hotel.
Maybe. One cow looked at us like, "You are not from here."
What did you do?
We asked a woman for directions.
Directions. That means help to find a place, right?
Yes, directions tell you where to go.
What did you say?
I said, "Excuse me, could you help us? We are looking for the Blue Door Hotel."
That sounds polite.
Yes, excuse me is very important. It makes the question friendly.
Could I say, where is the hotel?
Yes, but excuse me, where is the hotel sounds more polite.
Let's practice. Excuse me, where is the Blue Door Hotel?
Excellent. The woman said, "Go back to the main street, turn left, and walk 5 minutes."
Turn left. That is easy.
Yes, she also said, the hotel is next to the bakery.
Next to means beside, right?
Exactly. Next to means very near on the side.
A hotel beside a bakery sounds dangerous. I would eat bread every hour.
Actually, the smell was amazing. We found the hotel. It was small and cute with a blue door, just like the name.
Did you speak English with the man at the desk?
Yes, I said, hello, we have a reservation.
Reservation means you booked a room before, right?
Exactly. A reservation means a place is saved for you.
That is a good travel word.
It is. He asked for our names and gave us the key.
Easy.
Yes, but then he said breakfast is from 7 to 9.
That is good information.
Yes, but Anna heard 7 to 5.
Breakfast until 5 in the afternoon? That is my dream hotel.
She was very happy for 3 seconds.
Then you told her?
Yes, I said Anna. He said 9, not 5.
Poor Anna. Her long breakfast dream was gone.
Exactly. Listening carefully is important when you travel.
Numbers are very important. 7, 9, gate 6, gate 9.
Yes. If you are not sure, ask again. You can say, could you repeat that, please?
Could you repeat that, please?
Very good. That is one of the best sentences for English learners.
It sounds polite and useful.
It is. Never feel bad about asking someone to repeat.
Sometimes I feel shy. I think they will be angry.
Most people are not angry. They understand. Travel can be confusing.
That makes me feel better.
Good. After we left our bags in the room, we went to the lake.
Finally, the peaceful part.
Yes, the lake was beautiful. The water was quiet and the sky was soft and blue.
That sounds like a postcard.
It did. We walked slowly and took a few pictures. We did not take too many pictures. I wanted to enjoy the moment.
That is smart. Sometimes I take 50 pictures and forget to look with my eyes.
Exactly. We sat on a bench and ate small sandwiches.
Sandwiches again. Travel always needs sandwiches.
Yes, a sandwich is a very good travel friend.
If you are enjoying this conversation, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who is learning English.
Yes, please. It helps us a lot. And we have a small task for you.
If you are still listening, comment the word travel below.
Yes, write travel in the comments. It is our special word for today.
So what happened after the lake?
We walked to the old bridge and looked at the small boats.
That sounds peaceful.
It was. A man there told us a little story about the lake.
Did you understand him?
Most of it, yes. When you travel, you do not need every word. Try to understand the main idea.
Main idea means the important meaning, right?
Yes, exactly. If you understand the main idea, you are doing well.
What did you do in the evening?
In the evening, we went to a small restaurant near the bridge.
Let me guess. More bread?
Yes, but also soup and fish.
Was the menu easy to understand?
Some parts were easy, and some had local food names. So I said, what do you recommend?
Recommend. What does that mean?
Recommend means to say something is good. If I recommend a dish, I think you should try it.
So I can ask, what do you recommend?
Exactly. It is a great restaurant sentence.
What did the waiter recommend?
He recommended the lake fish with lemon. It was fresh and simple.
I like simple food when I travel.
Me too. Anna ordered soup, but she forgot the word spoon.
Oh no. What did she say?
She said, "Can I have the small soup shovel?"
Small soup shovel. That is amazing.
The waiter understood and brought a spoon.
That is communication. Not perfect, but clear.
Exactly. It is not about perfect grammar. It is about communication.
I love that. A spoon is a tiny shovel for soup.
Maybe in James English.
Yes, my special dictionary.
After dinner, we walked back to the hotel. The streetlights were soft and people were sitting outside.
That sounds calm.
It was. We felt happy and tired.
Travel tired is a nice tired.
Yes, it means your body is tired, but your heart is full.
That is beautiful, Julia.
Thank you. The next morning, we decided to walk to a hill above the town.
A hill? Was it far?
The hotel man said it was a short walk.
Oh, I do not trust that phrase.
Why not?
Because a short walk can mean 10 minutes or it can mean 1 hour and pain.
That is exactly what happened.
Oh no.
We walked up the hill for 40 minutes.
40 minutes? That is not a short walk.
It felt long, but the view was amazing.
View means what you can see from a place, right?
Exactly. From the top, we could see the lake, the town, and the green fields.
Was it worth it?
Yes, worth it means something was difficult, but good enough.
So you can say, the walk was hard, but it was worth it.
Perfect. That is a very useful sentence.
The walk was hard, but it was worth it.
Excellent.
Did you stay there long?
We stayed for about 20 minutes. Then it started to rain.
Did you have an umbrella?
Anna had one small umbrella for 2 people.
Half of Julia was dry, half of Julia was wet.
Exactly. My right side had a weather problem.
A weather problem.
We walked down the hill laughing. Our shoes were wet, but we were okay.
What did you learn?
I learned to always check the weather before a walk.
That is a good travel lesson.
And I learned one useful sentence. Do you sell umbrellas?
Do you sell umbrellas?
Yes. We used that sentence in a little shop at the bottom of the hill.
Did you buy one?
Yes, a bright yellow umbrella.
Nice. Then you looked like sunshine in the rain.
That is a lovely way to say it.
Julia, you mentioned a secret at the beginning.
I did. Are you ready for it?
I am very ready. I have my imaginary suitcase.
Good. My travel secret is called the 3-sentence travel diary.
3-sentence travel diary. What is that?
At the end of each travel day, write only 3 simple English sentences.
Only 3?
Yes. Sentence 1, where you went. Sentence 2, what you did. Sentence 3, how you felt.
Can you give an example?
Of course. Today I went to Lakeview. I walked near the lake and visited a museum. I felt happy and peaceful.
That is simple, but it tells the whole day.
Exactly. It helps you remember your trip and practice English.
So after my trip, I can write, today I went to the market. I bought tea and talked to a shopkeeper. I felt proud.
Perfect, James. That is very good.
I like it because it is not difficult.
Yes, if it is easy, you will do it.
And after many trips, I will have many small English stories.
Exactly. Your travel diary becomes your English memory book.
That is a beautiful idea.
Thank you. And you do not need perfect grammar. You just need to write something true.
Something true is better than something perfect.
Perfectly said.
Well, Julia, this travel story was very nice.
I feel like I went to Lakeview with you.
I am glad. Let's remember what we talked about today.
We talked about waiting at the wrong gate.
Yes, and asking, is this the bus to Lakeview?
We talked about asking for directions.
And saying, excuse me, where is the Blue Door Hotel?
We learned reservation, directions, next to, recommend, view, and worth it.
Very good memory, James.
We also learned that a spoon is not a small soup shovel.
Yes, please remember that.
And we learned the 3-sentence travel diary.
Exactly. That is your simple travel practice.
Well, everyone, we hope you enjoyed this conversation about a travel story.
Yes, we hope it helps you feel ready to use English on your next trip.
Before you go, we want to hear from you.
Tell us in the comments, where would you like to travel one day?
And remember, write the word travel below if you are still here with us.
Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to English Channel for Beginners.
Share this episode with a friend who is learning English.
Thank you so much for listening and traveling with us today.
Until next time, keep practicing and stay brave.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.